Hi, this is Helen Tarrant. Hi, this is Helen Tarrant. Welcome to another episode of Commercial Property Roadshow. I'm actually here. I've just picked up some balloons for my son Max, and this is the first weekend after COVID-19's opening restrictions in New South Wales, and I'm just at the entrance. Now, the interesting thing is I was here to look at a property with a lease back for one of my clients, and I just wanted to walk around the town to show you a little bit about the town. So I just walked up the road there, and we've just been to a bargain shop where I've obviously picked up some balloons, and I'm just crossing the road because up here they've got a variety of different shops, and we've just passed lunchtime, so they're the most busiest time we've just passed. So here we're just going to see that there's still a lot of traffic as we get through. So it's always interesting to walk around the town. Now, there's been a question regarding what you should be looking for regarding every time you do an inspection. How thorough should your property inspections be? Now, my thing to you is that when you go do a property inspection, one of the things to look at is really looking at leaks and making sure that there's no leaks in the bathrooms, there's no leaks in the kitchen area, there's just no general leaks on the roof or actually any watermarks. So that's one of the things you want to look for. Also, if the property hasn't been renovated, you've got to look at whether there's actually connections to your water, your sewerage, as well as your electricals, because you want to know that in the future, if someone wants to come in and they want to put a grease trap in there, or if they need to connect to a grease trap, or they want to have a restaurant, it can be as well. So the restaurant we're looking at the moment is actually a leaseback. It's a 2-year leaseback. The developer developed this property. It's further down from the shopping area, and what they've done is they're going to do a 2-year leaseback at over 9.5%, or close to 9.5%, 9.45%, 2 years. They're using it as currently as storage from one of his job sites, and he's offering that, and it's only a $220,000 purchase. So if you're looking at how easily you can get into commercial property, you can get into commercial property within an hour and 10 minutes away from Sydney for $220,000. It's about a 65 square metre space as well. But every time you do an inspection, it's worth looking around the area, seeing what's busy, what's not. Obviously, at the moment, it's a little bit different because we've got certain properties and certain places that's closed, certain areas that's open, but always just to see the amount of people that's there, check out what the foot traffic is, what your potential clients is, look at what the potential tenants is going to be. Now, that's the most important thing. Also look at what your neighbour are like, so you can look at what your neighbours are, so whether they're also a food tenant, so are they drawing the like type of traffic, or they're professional tenants. So if that's the case, then you might have to put in more of a professional tenant. Now, with a leaseback, what happens is the vendor sells the property and he leases it back to you on a set term, and during that term is usually net rent plus outgoings plus GST. So in that sense, with over 2 years, one of the things we look for, especially in a market where it's a little bit volatile, is look at when you come out of the lease, if the tenant's still going to be there or whether it's easy to tenant as well. So what that means is that the vendor, we've got to look at in 2 years time what's going to happen in the market. So in the market time, in 2 years, if it takes 6 months for the market to stabilize, another 12 months for us to get our confidence back, the yield in this market is going to compress. And when we're seeing around the entrance area is that the yields are somewhere around the 6 to 7% times market yield, so cap rate. So that means that you can actually then get a increase in the equity in your property as well during that time as well. So one of those things to look for. But also you might want to, with a strategy like that, look at re-tenanting before you sell onto the market again as well. So we're just coming up to the foreshore area now, and one of the things about the entrance, it is an area where it's a lot of tourism as well here. A lot of people visit for weekends, a lot of people drive, so it's very, very busy on the weekends as well. So you can see we get quite a bit of traffic. I'm recording this at about 3 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. So they obviously have the peak hours during this time where people have come through and they've ordered their fish and chips, they've sat down, they're taking the kids to the playground. But it's really, again, really important to walk through at different times. So Often we'll do an inspection during the week and then try to come through for a drive on the weekend just to see the amount of traffic there is as well. And always shop with locals so you get an experience of what's going on. Ask them how they find their business. When you go in, check out the quality of the building, when if there was any fit out, when the fit out was done, and how the tenants are tracking now, and how the tenants around them are, and where they're getting the most traffic and where they're doing their business at the moment as well. So those are the really important things. Now I'm just coming up to the foreshore and the intersection here, and you can see that we're getting a lot of traffic, a lot of more people around as well. Obviously we've got the limited 10 people seating, so that's also good as well. So the most important thing about an inspection is to look at the property to see if there's any damage, anything to predict what's going to happen in the next 12 months. So anything that's urgent, anything that needs to be done, you have to make sure that in the next 12 months you get to it, because a commercial property unattended to or forgotten on the maintenance on can create thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars of problems in the future, and also devalues the property in the future as well. So I'm obviously not walking through at the most busiest times, but I've had lunch at this fish and chip shop and there was absolutely packed about an hour and a half ago. So it's important to sit around, enjoy, and just watch the traffic and watch the people. One of the big things we do about inspections is leaving plenty of time so that you can actually get to see the area and check out what it is about as well. So here I'm at an ice cream shop, and you can see that it's really, really busy. I'm just crossing the road here. The pie shop across the road there has a queue of people. We still have queues outside here, and if we look around at the back area, you can just see how many people are about. There's literally hundreds of people that are about today. It's a beautiful, lovely day on a Sunday, and people are out with their kids. They're shopping. There are people outside the lolly shop. So we're passing the Coldbrook Bay, we're passing a lolly shop. This just gives you an idea of how busy the area is, and if your property happens to be situated in a really busy area, it gives you an idea of the type of traffic they're going to get, and that really helps to understand your tenant. So the more you understand about your tenant, the more you understand where their business is coming from, how are they going to operate, the better that investment is going to be for you. And it doesn't take long to do that investment. Treat it as a day out, where you're going to be spending some time out, understanding an area, just seeing the people, getting the feel of the area. So often we do inspections, we might do it 2 or 3 times during different times of the week, different times of the day, depending on the tenant. Obviously, if it's an office tenant, we want to do it during the week on a weekday. If it's a retail tenant, we want to visit them on the weekend and also during the week, just to see how they're tracking before we make a decision. And that's all the things we tend to do as a buyer's agent, as an educator in commercial property. So if you want to find out more about commercial property, please make sure you click on the link, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. In the meantime, I'm going to show you the inside of the property, and so you get to see what a cute little shop just a little bit further down on Tulgrup Parade is going to be like, a little bit further down from the main strip of the entrance. So until next time, bye for now.